Bomber TV.
Hi guys, Bomber here. Welcome back to the channel, and before we start, a huge thank you to all of my patrons. If you want to join them, please consider checking out the links down below in the description and the pinned comments down below. Guys, before we start, do you like this more natural kind of lightning, or do you like this more kind of artificial lightning, but you know, I can control it, I can maybe turn it down or stuff like that? Let me know in the comments down below what you like more. So the deck of today is going to be Pirate Aggro, which, you know, has been around for quite a while now, probably as the release of Bilgewater, which has been like 1 year already ago, how time passes. And yeah, in fact, soon enough we're going to be celebrating the first year of release of Legends of Runeterra, at least the official release, so after Bilgewater, in fact. And yeah, guys, by the way, I had to re-record this video because I already did that, but the mic wasn't plugged in quite well, and so yeah, talk about quality content here. And by the way, talking about the deck, we see that we have Captain Pharaon as a finisher. Yeah, now that Captain Pharaon was recently nerfed, probably a lot of decks are not running these, or the ones that did run like 3 copies of it are cutting him down quite a bit. In fact, right now we're only running 1. But you know, I'm kind of okay with Captain Pharaon being still in the deck, because sometimes against more control-y decks, after a certain point, you can't really win anymore. They will start, you know, going tall on the board, wide on the board, and you can't really attack anymore, and you can't deal damage through after a certain turn. So yeah, Captain Pharaon helps you in those occasions when you can't win on board, possibly. And with Captain Pharaon, you can probably get some damages in when he comes down. But otherwise, like on the following turn, he can let you deal that 8 points of damage, which sometimes is enough to win the game. So yeah, I'm still a big fan of Captain Pharaon, at least as a one-off in Pirate Aggro. Jack the Winner is here for similar reasons. It just comes down earlier, and you kind of want to cast it on turn 5 so that you can, you know, constantly play Sleep with the Fishes every turn, and, you know, getting you that burn that you need. Also, Sleep with the Fishes kind of needs a board of your own, because Jack the Winner can only withstand 2 Sleep with the Fishes if he doesn't get, you know, removed or yeah, gets damage on his own. So yeah, you kind of need to sacrifice your weaker units that, as I said, after a certain point of time are kind of useless against certain decks. So yeah, Jack the Winner is a bit similar to Captain Pharaon in some ways. But as I said, Captain Pharaon comes later on, while Jack the Winner comes earlier, but you have to play it earlier, otherwise you simply won't gain that burn that you need. Instead, Gangplank is a bit different than those two. It is still a finisher, but it's a finisher that you want to play on curve. As Jack the Winner, but Jack the Winner does generate value and, you know, burn as the game goes on. Instead, Gangplank, you play him, you try to get that 5 damage of Overwhelm in. If he's leveled up, that's insane. You get also 2 points of damage of burn for free on your Nexus, on your opponent Nexus, while also AOEing their whole board. So yeah, that's pretty crazy when that happens. And yeah, it is more of a finisher on curve, as I said. Well, Jack the Winner is a slow finisher, and Captain Pharaon is a late game finisher. Then we have Decimate. Again, the burn that we need to finish off the game. Any kind of aggressive decks in Legends of Runeterra kind of need to either go full board mode, like for example a Nightfall Aggro is, while all the rest have to have some kind of burn, because again, you can get a lot of damage by turn 4, 5, but then after that, if you're not up against another aggro, mid-range decks will start, you know, playing their big units. Control decks are starting to will start to, you know, remove your whole board, and later on play even bigger units. So yeah, you kind of need to get those burn in to win the game after a certain point. Zap's Bravin, totally balanced cards, has been like in any meta deck, TF feeds, Pirate Aggro as we are seeing it now, and yeah, totally balanced. I don't think that the Riot should ever fix this card. Anyway, jokes aside, like yeah, Zap's Bravin, its consistency is unbelievable. Here you are always drawing your Noxian Fervor, which is not only the only spell that gets you a bit of reactivity, because otherwise this deck is only proactive. You just want to play cards and let your opponent do stuff about it. And you are the aggressor, you are the, you know, the one player which decides what is the pace of the game, you know, how much you're attacking, how much you're developing. You're all on the proactive side, and your opponent has to be reactive about you. But Nox and Fervor is the only card that actually gets you a bit of reactivity. For example, if they try to remove something, then you can punish them with Nox and Fervor, casting it for free, denying their removal basically, and yeah, gaining value in form of, you know, burn. Then we have Misfortune. Doesn't really level up in this deck at all. Like if that happens, it happens on turn, what is it? Turn 3 if you're attacking, turn 3, 5, 7, 9. So she can level up by turn 9, which is probably not achievable, but you know, in some games it will happen. And but yeah, it is just a very good utility card against aggressive decks, as discard aggro, for example. They really can't block you because you're dealing 1 to all their blockers, and they all have 1/1s or 2/1s, stuff like that. Against Fiora Shen is also kind of great because they have barriers, so you can remove them before the attack actually resolves. So yeah, kind of strong, since Fiora Shen is very strong right now. But yeah, other than that, she will not level up. She's just a pretty great redrop. Then we have Lunging Lizard. This card is basically a 3 mana deal 6. Delayed by 2 turns, and also can be removed, of course, because yeah, this will not generate value on the long term. It deals 2 damage to itself every round, so you can get 2 attacks at most with him. And yeah, that's it. 3 mana, deal 6, which on paper seems kind of strong, but of course it has so much ways that this card can be countered. Sharp Sight can block it, or you know, just removed. But yeah, still a very strong card, and we see that this deck is slowly going more and more towards just straight up burn. Then Yaron Ballista, just a very great redrop probably for curve reasons. This card is here. Then Legend Grenadier, Imperial Demolitionist. You don't want to play Imperial Demolitionist on curve, because most of the times you will just have a 1 health unit, only if you have Crackshot Corsair. That could actually be possible. And but yeah, this is more of an additional burn card as a Mystic Shot with a body attached to it, because if you could run Mystic Shot in this deck, you probably would cast it on your opponent Nexus anytime. And so yeah, instead you want to have Legend Grenadier on turn 2. And yeah, then we run 12 1-drops, like look at this curve. It's actually insane, like it fluctuates so much. And also, as you can see, a very interesting thing about this deck is that the curve does something like this. Are you seeing this? Except this 8-drop at the end, which is Captain Pharaoh, of course. And this means that this deck is so strong when you are attacking. Like, this deck is heavily oriented towards you having the attack token on the first turn, because you know your turn 1 is very strong. You have a lot of plays on turn 1. Then you attack again on turn 3, and you have a lot of threats on turn 3. And then you attack again on turn 5, and you have a lot of threats on turn 5. Instead, on your defensive turns, when it happens that you can play something, then good for you. But if you can't, it doesn't really matter all that much. And so yeah, that's a pretty interesting note to have when deck building aggressive decks. You probably just either want to have a very smooth curve, you know, growing all the way up to, or you know, if you top on turn 3, then probably you want to have a peak on turn 3, and then you know, just a smooth curve. If you want to go completely crazy aggro mode, then it should go down like this, because you have a lot of 1-drops, a lot of 2-drops. It's heavily skewed towards the, you know, early game aggression. Instead, if you want to do something like this, you know, these up and downs, this probably means that you have some power turns on the turns that you want to attack, and then as Legends of Runeterra is actually balanced, this curve is only probably possible on Legends of Runeterra, because, you know, if you want an aggressive deck to be strong on the even turns, then you want more cards on 2, 4, and 6. Instead, if you want to be very, very strong as early as possible, while still, you know, getting traction in later turns, then you want to go 1, 3, 5, you know. Either you have to be an odd attacks or even attacks, depending on where your power cards are in your region, which is kind of interesting, because we saw something like that in Arson, which was actually a mechanic, with, you know, Baku, the Moon Eater, and the other one. I can't remember the name. It has been so much time ago. And so yeah, guys, that's it for this deck analysis. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Also, let me know in the comments if you like this video, what did you like about it, or what would you like to see more on this channel. And also join my Discord server if you want to chat with me, you know, in a bit more freely. And so yeah, that's it for this deck analysis. Let's see this deck in action into some games. Okay guys, we are up against AGGRO Shurima, so this should be interesting. The old AGGRO archetypes against the new AGGRO archetypes. So yeah, we have a pretty solid curve already. We don't want to go for Imperial Demolitionist because, as I said, we want that for later on. Legendary Idea instead is our premium 2-drop that we have here. We're attacking on turn 1, so as I said in the intro, this is very good. And actually, you know what? Against an AGGRO deck, which probably won't... I mean, won't win in the late game, you know? It's actually interesting to have a bomb for later on of our own. Since we already have a 1 and 2 drops, and we will probably draw into a 3-drop in, you know, 2 turns that we have to draw them, this could be actually interesting. Yeah, Doomkeeper is such a strong card here, guys. And we can't really attack because we are just dealing 1, and then next turn is dealing 2, sorry. Arena Battlecaster, so yeah, we have to go for Legendary Idea. Now if he attacks, we can trade and we get the most out of this attack. Because of course we can block with the Legendary Idea and yeah. So yeah, I think I'm okay with blocking like this. As I said, we get the most out of it. We have a turn 2 play, kinda, which is Legendary Idea. So we are okay with that. If we didn't have the Legendary Idea, then we probably had to do something different. Because we really didn't have another play for the following turn. So yeah, here, if it trades, we are happy. And if it takes the damage, like, we are actually even more happy. Because we are dealing 3. While if he attacks, we are trading, and he's only dealing 2, while we are dealing even 1 more. So, yeah, very, very strong. And actually here we could go for Imperial Demolitionist, and then develop into the Jagged Butcher. So yeah, we are taking 1 more damage, because of the Legendary Grenadier having 1 less health. But, yeah. We are dealing 2 anyways, so... He could have Shaped Stone. That would be kind of bad for us. But I mean, we're doing something like this. We're taking 7, which is actually a lot. So now we get even on health, but we have 1 more mana, and we have 2 units while he only has 1. So we should be good here. I think we can attack. What could he play on turn 5? He could play at Draven, so this means that we can attack with the 2-1, and if we attack with 3-1 alone, we will block it with the Doomkeeper. If we play the Jack the Winner, though, and if he goes for Draven, Bloody Marauder, right? Bloodthirsty Marauder. Yeah, I think we can attack here. He could have Shaped Stone again, but what I'm talking about? Shaped Stone here doesn't make sense, because he didn't play the landmark. So yeah, we're totally good here. Him not blocking there was kinda insane. Okay, so he has Ruinous Path, a bit of drain there. But yeah, that was very dangerous for him. And yeah, now we are, you know, playing everything from our hand. He's passing. Wow. What if we pass? I mean, no, we have Misfortune, which is so strong against the Bloodthirsty Marauder. Yes, a Darius. I mean, yeah, we can just block it with Jack. Jack the Winner. We probably won't even ever use the Pharaon. Yeah, so he's dealing 1 damage. Ooh. That's very strong. But yeah, he's still not winning this turn. Only if he has another Noxian Fervor in hand. That would be kinda funny. Oh yeah, we could have gone for Precious Pet. What did I do? Yeah, here probably playing the Zap Sprayfin is... what if he has Decimate? So if we are attacking, he's dying, right? Even if he blocks the Misfortune. He already played an Noxian Fervor. It is more likely that he has a Decimate, because he has a Darius in play, and because he has still 3 Decimates in his hand / hand. So here, statistically, it should be better to play around the Decimate more, and the Rune of Spat for that reason, rather than a second Noxian Fervor. If we are playing around Noxian Fervor and not Decimate, then we should play Zap Sprayfin, because he can't really sacrifice the Darius. Because we are killing it before that happens. But yeah, it is less likely that he has a second Noxian Fervor, rather than a copy of Decimate. And now he has it, of course. Ooh, Red of Negation. That's interesting. Now he can't go for Noxian Fervor, because he doesn't have a unit. And now instead we can calmly... Ooh, Rune Spat. Very interesting. Wow, we still win because we have the Zap. That's insane, guys. And you see, Zap totally balanced, guys. Such a balanced card. At 1 mana, he can do anything, right? And this should be a good game. Well played, man. At 1 health, so that was very, very close, actually. So yeah, guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, a comment, and checking out the links in the description and the pinned comment. In there you'll find my Instagram, my Twitter, my Patreon, my Discord server, where you can continue to chat with me and all the rest of the community. So that's it for this video. Hope you liked it and find it useful, and as always, see ya.